That's the best. I already talked about that. Yeah, right. Remember, parasites are your best friends. They get rid of 10 cells the quickest, toxins in the body. You have rectal damage? Blood vessel. Well, when you have that kind of situation, it's the only thing that's going to resolve that. I'm talking about salt already. No matter what kind of salt it is, you've got concentrated rocks. We don't eat rock in the first place. And when we eat rock salt, no matter if it's Celtic, Dead Sea, no matter what it is, your body will separate, isolate the sodium and it becomes explosive.
You heard it.
5%. I recommend people do 10%. I've been on this diet so long, 10% is too much. I only want to sleep 4 hours a day and work 20 hours a day. If I eat 10% fruit, I will sleep 6 hours a day. 2 hours of the day I've lost. 8,000 or more? 8,000 or more? Well, usually I have my vegetable juice first thing in the morning, cheese first, then about 30 minutes after that, vegetable juice, about 35, 40 minutes after that, I'll have my meat meal, and then I'll sip on milk, throughout the day, or sport formula, and vegetable formula, and then about somewhere between noon and 2 o'clock, I'll have my fruit with some kind of fat. Like today I have berries and milk and cream and eggs, 6 eggs. I sip on that through the afternoon. And then I'll have my meat again in the evening or during the night. Like I said in my book, wheatgrass is very bad. There are more books and things down here. You like me to sign?
Yeah. Do you have more CDs left?
Pardon? Wheatgrass has a tendency to make the intestinal tract alkaline and the blood acidic, and you need just the opposite. The intestinal tract needs to be acidic to digest your animal food. Yeah, well, you don't want to over-acidify the blood. The blood should be about 5.5 for a human. All these alternatives say, oh, we should get it up to 6.5, 6.77, something like that. If you did that, you wouldn't digest anything. They would need protein and fat. So mine's been 5.5 for 28 years. Genetics. Yes.
What's your take on the how much
But I sent out an email, and you can get it in the newsletters if you subscribe to the newsletters. $85 a year. You get all of my letters back to 2006, and that's about 1,200 pages. That's going to be my next book. So I've got all that stuff in there, what to do to offset. Because there's a lot of fruit I have to offset. Yeah, but that'll be out in a year. But you can get all the information already if you subscribe to my newsletter at the website.
Okay. The very first thing you eat is cheese. How many ounces? Well,
I eat a tablespoon and a half of cheese first thing to absorb all the poison. When you eat unsalted raw cheese alone, it will absorb all the poisons that are in your stomach and intestines, and you'll pass out in pieces. If you eat salted raw cheese, you'll reabsorb it because the salt explodes and breaks it down and digests it for you. If you eat pasteurized cheeses or homogenized cheeses, they will redigest your poisons again.
so that's 1 tablespoon of cheese.
1.5 tablespoons of cheese.
What type of cheese? Cottage cheese?
It's up to you. It doesn't make
It
any
doesn't matter.
As long as it's raw, no salt. No, cottage cheese is normally cooked. but you just let it sit and clabber. And then you pour that into a cheesecloth or like a good t-shirt, like this material or organic, sewed into a sock, and then you pour the clabbered milk into that, and then all the way drains out the ketchup and drink that. And then you've got this cheese, cottage cheese in it. You let it dry as you want, just add a little cream to it. It's got cheese. Okay, pancreas has nothing to do with digestion except that it's an architect. It tells the body what enzymes it needs to make to break down the foods, molecules, and reconvert them into human cells and human nutrition. The pancreas doesn't actually do anything except address it, but it will, if you eat excessive fruits or excessive sugars, it has to make insulin. Normally, pancreas does almost nothing with insulin. Insulin used to be just a fraction of the diet because we only 5% carbohydrates. It's supposed to be 5%. Lucy, 4.3 million years ago, had a pancreas 2.5 times smaller than ours. She was a raw meaty. She didn't eat fruit. And when you live outdoors like I did for 3 years, you don't find fruit everywhere. And where you find it, the birds eat it all. So you do not, primates did not eat a lot of fruit. That is absolute Paleolithic bullshit. Excuse but when I hear somebody come up with that theory and they never lived outdoors long enough to know what goes on. And I bicycle all the way from Yucatan to Alaska, living off the land. And there are no fruits unless you cultivate them. Absolutely none. And the birds get them when you live there. Absolutely. Well, in conjunction with the hot baths, the hot tubs. I had lymphoma. I had them all over my body. Lipoma is still a fat. Yeah, it's not a fat. It's usually a node, a lymphatic node that's swollen with fat.
I got one here. I think it's a way to pesticides.
Yeah, it could be. Absolutely.
So how do you get rid of it?
Pack it with clay, keep it wet, wrap some plastic over that by touching the skin, keep it moist all night, put a hot water on it. Yeah, and then you put wrap the towel around the hot water bottle so it stays, the heat is concentrated into the arm. Well, you should be doing a good diet. Yeah, eat some pineapple and coconut cream. I had a woman who had one this big, and she was crippled 3 years ago when she came to me in Chicago. She had rheumatoid arthritis, and all of her knuckles fell like this. A big mineral lipoma, as big as a hardball right here. Her knees were blown out this big. All the toes, the joints are all crippled. So a year on the diet, she came back. She did a hot bath 2 days a week, 90 minutes a day, 2 days weekly. She came back. She was able to feed herself now. Her husband still had to do those. She could stand up with holding something. Then the next year, I said, you need to do more hot baths and just keep it up. And when she came back this year, I said to her husband, strong guy, I said, look, you need to put her in every day, 90 minutes a day, and I'll bet you she'll walk in here next year. So 2 months ago, I was in Chicago, and guess who walked in? That massive swelling went down in 1 year, and it had been there for 15 years in those hot tubs. 90 minutes a day. And if you get too hot and you can't stay in, you just take an ice pack and put it on top of your head for 5 seconds. It's the brain that hates to be overheated.
You know, you got a big radio station in Boston.
About 105 to 108.
What about if you use DMSO?
It's a poison. It's a chemical. Now, like I said, when people use DMSO internally, only 24% leaves the body. DMSO is a poison. It's a chemical. Okay, folks, we're going to have to end it there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Frank,
That just means you're not breaking down your fat, so you're not, your ammonia is being built with fat. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Just eat some pineapple and some grapes.
Right. They come out of the garden and then Singapore.